Well, here it is after Labor Day, and I hate to break it to you, but that means that the summer is really over. Now, the weather came in like a lion and out like a lamb, but we got to do some good waterfront living in the month of August. Now, here we are in our storage mode, and it's a very good time to be looking at your dock, your lifts, your water toys, take inventory, see what works and what doesn't for your particular property, and get ready for the storage. And we met up with a couple of experts on Saratoga Lake that are going to walk you through the whole process. So let's go do some Adirondack living. Join me as I go and talk to my very good friend Dave Wicker, Northeast Sales Manager for Shoremaster. How are you, David?
Good, Jeff. How are you doing today?
Good. Now, as it relates to Shoremaster, your particular specialty is in aluminum docks.
Yes, all aluminum manufacturing with our boat lifts and docks, yes. The one thing we tend to do with our decking in manufacturing is to keep the dock simple from an installation standpoint and removal. We do not attach our decking to our dock frames.
Why is that?
It keeps it simpler and lighter for the customer to install, so you don't have the extra weight of the wood on your decking. Allows for better storage of your panels from a seasonal, like your cedar doesn't have to be left out 365 days a year. You're able to store it. Basically, it's only out exposed 3-4 months of the year. The other reason is just for these cases like this. If somebody has their dock set too low to the water height, they didn't have consideration for high water mark and storm waves after that fact, it's better to have your panels get flipped out of your dock frame versus having your panels cause your whole dock to get lifted up and out of the water, causing structural damage to your frame, or therefore, dock systems may be floating away, going into deeper water, and completely just being lost.
So David, for people like me that enjoy their creature comforts, I think a boat lift would be in order for me and my boating needs, particularly as it relates to cleanliness, performance, and safety.
Especially with high water marks that we're dealing with today, if you have your boat just sitting on your dock, your boat is actually probably higher than your dock. It's probably bouncing on your dock, creating damage to your dock and your boat. And as boat owners know, getting your boat gel coat and your sides of your boats repaired is not a cheap option. And in a lot of lakes in the Northeast, we also have zebra mussels. Zebra mussels can cause severe damage to the intakes of your boats and motor problems, causing you thousands of dollars. To solve that, we have options that cost thousands of dollars. You have boat lifts.
Okay.
We happen to be standing by a hydraulic boat lift, which would be your, I guess, Cadillac of boat lifts. Push button.
Let's see how this puppy works.
Quiet operation.
Very nice. So you're not even leaving your boat. You're pulling your boat up on the lift and you're actually hitting the remote control.
Yep, you'd hit the remote control, get your boat up and out of the wave action, unload its passengers, and then you would just hit the remote control while you're walking down the dock and raise your boat up for storage for when you're not using it. We're here out on Saratoga Lake on a dock and lift installation. We're going to go out and talk with the installer, Jim Agius of Prime Building Corp. Hey Jim, how you doing today?
Hey, welcome to the lake.
Show us what you have installed here today.
Yeah, this is part of a whole new system we installed for one of our customers. This is our 4,000, 10-foot wide vertical boat lift. It's an all aluminum product, including our rack, stainless steel bolts, brass nuts, all non-corrosive elements. And on it we also have our new quiet winch. Anyone familiar with a boat winch, or anyone who even around a boat winch, remembers when you turn them, they click, make a good deal of noise. This is our new noiseless lift.
Great.
It's a great product, works easier, gear ratio real nice, so it's friendly to the women as well as the men. It's a really nice product. With zebra mussels becoming a part of the Northeast and actually the United States lake culture, it's almost essential, because the zebra mussel will get into the intake of the boat and take over, stop the cooling of the engine, and you can lose an engine very easily. So we're selling a lot of boat lifts to customers that are mindful of that, and also the safety factor. A lot of our customers are here for 2 weeks, gone for a month, so now they can crank their boat up and forget about it. They're down on Long Island or wherever they are, and they're not thinking about their boat. Also, a lake like this, although it's very clean, it has quite a few weeds, and that can stain the bottom of the boat. Our boats are absolutely clean.
Jim, can you tell me a little about what we've installed here for this customer?
Sure. This customer has just built a brand new, beautiful home, and to tell you the truth, he wanted to match the dock to the home. We went out 9 sections with 2 sections over for a deck. We also installed an off-deck bench, which is great because it takes up no deck room. We also have a 4-step pivot ladder Now that pivots up and saves it from getting negatively impacted by the water. In other words, slimy. And then on the outside, we put two 90s on the end and a 4x4 section in the middle, and just gave it that extra bit of accent that he gave to his home and all the thought he put into this whole process here, making his lakeside home compatible with his dock experience and his boat experience. And he really did a great job on it. I was just the guy who put it all together.
We've left Saratoga Lake. We are now on Lake Lonely. I'm with Jim Agius again, and we have a poly floating dock job. Jim, could you tell me why we went with a floating dock on this lake?
Sure. Unlike Saratoga Lake, this lake is not controlled by a dam. So if we have a gush of water, 3 inches, say, this lake can easily come up 3 feet. So they've tried to have stationary docks in this location before, and they failed miserably. They called me, said, "What's your idea?" I told them about the poly dock. Another reason this poly dock is so great is because this lake will go off gradually and then drop off rapidly. So we can use extended poles, and we can be in 10 or 12 feet of water easily. So we're safe in all aspects.
So if you're preparing to ready your waterfront for winter, here are 6 timely tips from our resident dockologist, Dave Wicker. Number 1, deflate vinyl water toys and clean with detergent to remove mold, slime, and fouling. Then dry, fold, and store in a cool, dry space away from critters. Critters love vinyl water toys. Don't let them near them. Number 2, assess your dock integrity for structural soundness. Fall is a great time to have your local dock professional visit your waterfront and perform repairs or quote on end-of-year specials that could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Number 3, perform regular and preventative maintenance on your docks and lifts, and that includes greasing chains, winches, and pulleys. Check the nuts and bolts, ensure they're all tight, inspect the cables. If you have a canopy over your dock or lift, remove it, clean it, and store it till next year, just like your water toys. And check the surface of your dock for splitting, cracking, or decay, and replace the damaged pieces. 4, store your dock and decking panels in a flat, dry space out of the weather to prevent warping and unnecessary weathering. Number 5, remove docks and lifts far enough off the water's edge to eliminate any chance of an ice flow compromising your dock in the spring thaw, and that does happen. Number 6, do it now. What you do this fall will make your spring waterfront living that much more enjoyable. Thanks, Dave Wicker. If you'd like to get in touch with any of the folks at Shoremaster, you can visit them online at shoremaster.com. Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back here with more Adirondack Living TV right after the break.